Hi, welcome to my channel. My name's Sammy, and on this channel I discuss what a spiritual awakening is and many of the characteristics that are associated to it. Because it's not one defining moment or thing, there are many aspects. It may be revealed slowly over time. My previous video talks briefly about this also. Today I'm continuing on from that video and looking at other signs that can suggest you have begun to embark on a spiritual awakening. Initially, I didn't know I was awakening, but I had begun to search. I started listening to tarot, not because I thought I should, it just happened to appear on my YouTube on my phone one day. Coincidence? I don't believe in coincidences. I believe in divine timing and synchronicities. So I began to listen to this lady who I still sometimes listen to. Although the readings were general and not specifically formulated to me, I resonated with so much that she said. From this, I purchased my own tarot cards to begin to help guide myself and gain confidence in my intuition. Eventually, I began to intuitively know things or believe things, feel things, and they were very often confirmed by tarot. Listening to tarot offered me so much more information and understanding into my own life and people in it. I'm not able to pinpoint when my awakening began because I believe so many things, events, people, relationships have been triggers to help me wake up, including love relationships. When I look back at them, I can see that some triggers were becoming more painful to deal with because I was overlooking them for so long. When I finally became aware or fed up, I was ready to look at myself and stand up for myself. I realised I was worthy and that I could make changes to improve my life, myself, and my soul. I had already begun to do things for myself, by myself. If others couldn't or didn't want to do the things I enjoyed, I could and absolutely should do them regardless. I often felt guilty for spending this time for myself, riding my bike early in the morning or bushwalking. Lots of the time this was with a girlfriend of mine. Nature revitalized me. My friend and I talked about anything and everything. I felt during this time that I was rebuilding myself. I was getting my confidence back. I was slowly removing layers of so-called armor that I'd created to protect myself, my heart, from getting hurt. But the protection actually did the opposite. It prevented me being my true authentic self, prevented love to flow, prevented me to love and accept myself as I am, perfectly imperfect. So initially, I was out in nature, getting up early to have time to spend with myself, and I loved it. I craved it. I needed it. At home, I'd begun to write again. I love writing, and as I began to accept that I was worthy, I began to do more for myself. I was also painting again. I'd often dabbled with painting over many years, not because I was good at it, but because I really enjoyed it. My artwork was pretty crappy, but it never stopped me because of the feeling that it gave me, the energy that it gave me. I think it was 2019 or 2020 that I began painting and I really noticed a transformation. Often people who begin to awaken become drawn to their creative side. Some people may never have even known that they had this creative talent in themselves. It can be quite astounding when it's revealed. For me, I had always painted abstract work. It had definitely begun to improve, but I remember one night I set myself up to paint and I was thinking about a friend sitting at the beach, meditating, staring at the waves. I painted the waves and the view, and within an hour, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, I finished. It was like coming out of a trance. I couldn't believe my eyes, or that I'd actually painted this. I remember calling out that I must be possessed. And this began my next 2 years of painting oceans and seascapes. I know art is such a personal, subjective interpretation, like beauty, but I could clearly see a 100% improvement. I still did not know yet that I was awakening. I was opening myself up, writing, revealing myself to me, learning to love myself and accept myself, listening to spiritual teachings and searching for more. I continued to discover myself, learning how to accept myself, preparing myself without knowing that I was actually preparing myself. Often an awakening is triggered by trauma or a revelation. I'd already had a series of events that had certainly triggered me to begin to realise I was worthy. But at the beginning of 2021, I went through a major life change when I decided to end completely the relationship I'd been in for 19 years. This was like the eruption of a volcano in terms of my awakening. It catapulted me into choosing to stand up for myself. No longer would I be the person I had allowed myself to be throughout my life. As if this eruption wasn't enough, I had to deal with a coinciding second eruption that I believe was a test of my strength and love for myself. It was then I began to write and learn so much more. Thank you for listening today. I hope you enjoyed this. Please comment below. Let me know if you want me to discuss anything deeper. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it, and hope to catch you again for the next video. Ciao.